Hi there. Okay, so I wanted to just do a quick follow-up on some information that I had posted before on the Sandy Hook videos. There's so much here. So I had posted links in the videos that show all of the photographs. There's three parts to that, okay? And the FBI vault seems to be disconnected now, and the FBI main page seems to like take you nowhere too. The only one that seems to be working is the CPS one, which is this one here, the Connecticut State Police, which you have to go through and download the pictures. And I would suggest saving them. I have a big Sandy Hook file on my computer myself because I don't trust that any of that information is going to be there when I go back. In other news, to follow up from a video I did earlier, I went back and I tried to search for the information regarding Hillary Clinton's most recent book deal signing, where she completely goes and addresses off the cuff the PizzaGate. And it was a great clip I had earlier. Can't find it now. Multiple pages of searching online. Can't find anything. But let me just put this out there and we can revisit this as the anniversary of the ping pong pizza being shot up by the guy from North Carolina rolls around, which is now. Links in the description box for all of this. This is the PizzaGate gunman. And he's saying he was sorry and everything. I find it fascinating that a man from North Carolina who looks like an Antifa guy, and mind you, this back then was at the same time that a lot of this Antifa stuff was going on. We know that the Antifa was funded largely in part by the likes of Soros, the leftists. And Soros is just one. He's like the catch name for everything. But God knows there's lots of people. It's the people that you don't hear the names of that you probably need to be more concerned about than the ones you do. At any rate, you can't judge a book by its cover, but you can make an assessment. So I find it interesting that this guy from North Carolina, you can read the article yourself. Again, this was last year. This isn't new news, but I find it funny. He drove from Salisbury in his Toyota Prius. I'm not picking on people that have a Prius. I'm just saying a Prius. Huh. Okay. And, then there was some sort of conjecture about, oh, he didn't shoot up the computers. That's just another conspiracy theory, yada, yada. This was written right after this happened. And just so that you know, this is a lunatic man who walks into, shortly before 3 p.m., he walks in, he leaves a loaded 12-gauge shotgun and a box of shells in a car, then walked into the restaurant carrying a loaded 6-shot revolver on his hip and holding a 9mm long rifle with about 29 rounds of ammo across his chest. Is that an AR, a 9mm? Okay, because I believe that's what they said he used before in another article. At any rate, interestingly, this should be pretty busy, 3 p.m. in the afternoon. After a panicky evacuation by workers and customers, including children, so that everybody was evacuated, Welch fired the rifle multiple times at a locked closet door, striking computer equipment inside, court documents said. Now, I could probably find those court documents someplace. Isn't that amazing? He went up there. You know what he went up there to do? He didn't go up there to find Peter. He went up there to assassinate the computer equipment. That's right. He went up there to assassinate the evidence, because evidence would suggest that they did take pictures down off the walls, that everything was kind of rearranged afterwards. You got to ask yourself, how does a pizza shop owner become listed in Fortune's magazine as one of the top 40 wealthiest, most prestigious men? No, I'm not saying that all of the rumors are true, and then disinformation is always mixed with truth to throw everybody off. That's what they do. That's what they do. No, sure couldn't find anything relative to, Even when I went through the archive, everything is like last year. But this kind of ties into that. The guy that I mentioned earlier, you know, that had the blurted out at Hillary's little book thing in Philly, I think this guy might be a plant of some sort because he just pops up everywhere. He's either just like a fucking lunatic or a plant or both, you know. Please, both, you know, because they want to make him out as a Trump supporter. You know, talks about getting jumped by 3 men after the rallies. See, they prolong this stuff. I think these people are so methodical. They've groomed this guy. You know, he could have been just whoever off the street, some meth head, you know, and then they groom him and they're going to give him money. They're going to say, oh, you can do a little bit of time in jail. What do you think that other young kid did? You think people like fuck up, they get in trouble, you know, and guess what? They get made a deal they can't refuse. Not saying specifically what's happened here. This video isn't to harass anyone. But it is to say the hypotheticals aren't that far-fetched. You know what I mean? They're really not. So here we have this guy who just shows up on all these weird places, and he's screaming at the balcony for Hillary, which gives her an opportunity, such an opportunity to go ahead and I'll probably say and probably present something that she had pre-recorded. Right before she was about to wrap up Thursday night, a man in the balcony yelled at Clinton to talk about PizzaGate, the conspiracy theory, and all this other stuff. The crowd shouted him down, and Clinton used the moment to talk about the dangers of false information. What the fuck is she going to talk about the dangers of fucking false information? She is the fucking false information. Okay, got to stop it there because I will go off. Anyway, links in the description box. Just to say that, you know, all the Sandy Hook information starting to disappear because that resurfaced. I do believe we got a good force out there trying to continue to put information out there. And then as soon as you know what you need to be looking at because it's always taken down. And then you have this other stuff. You know, you have a bunch of other stuff. And when you look at it, you can't just forget what happened last month or last year even. Save your information. Go back and cross-reference. I mean, it'll drive you batshit crazy, but in some ways, I mean, there's peace that comes with it. Even if nobody else believes you, and these fuckers want to sit there and act like you're insane because you're some sort of conspiracy theorist. I mean, that's what they'll do. They look at the truth. They look at the truth, and they tell you that it's a lie. They look at a lie, and they tell you it's the truth. You just have to know for yourself at some point, right? All right, that's enough. Long enough. Have a good night. Bye.